application product. Like we said, any number of textures and looks can be applied to the product to make it an absolute finished product, your walls inside and out. Also, looking at it from an architectural standpoint, there's virtually no limit to what type of architectural components and elements, accents, and features that can be created from the material. Due to its design composition and its production ability, we can pour it and modify it into any imaginable shape and feature. As you can see here, more intricate details that allow you to get very, very exact and very sharp lines, but at the same time, this particular mix design is about 10% of the weight of a concrete unit. Again, important to note that because of the cementitious qualities, that this is a 100 and 200 year rated application product, depending on how it's being used. When we look at it from a structural standpoint, it's important to note that we can use block materials without any other components at all, or we can use the same material in a long panel form that can go up to 18, 20 foot in length. At the same time, we can do pre-engineered wall sections or panelized systems, such as this here, where you can see the finished coating is on the final substrate and it becomes a final product, but it's encased in a light gauge steel. The unit itself weighs about 30%, I believe, this particular one, about 30% of the weight of concrete, or 70% less than concrete, and can be used in affordable home structures, outbuilding structures, and particularly appealing to overseas markets. With this type of application and some of these other panelized units, they are perfectly suited for an affordable home market or disaster-prone markets where they need to reacquire housing or facilities on an expedited basis. Other examples, as you will see here, this type of unit has the insulation inherent lightweight material inside, but on the outside it's a harder, more encased material, so it gives it a PSI rating of up to 4,000 PSI on interior and exterior of your wall. Same thing goes with a variation of the product here. Other variations show that we can use it with a hardboard type design, still being much, much lighter, but demonstrating much more superior qualities such as fireproofing, water penetration, and so forth. Okay, what we're going to demonstrate here is a few fire tests. If we were to use some of the conventional building products, as many have seen on the market, such as styrofoam encased units where you have concrete in your inner wall section, but styrofoam on both sides. Well, that's a nice system for R factor, but it doesn't do much for fire. So if you ignite your wall system, you're going to lose your entire structural quality. It has to be replaced. You've eliminated and self-defeated yourself. Another variation, which is commonly used on the market, also promotes and markets that they are flame resistant. They demonstrate certain fire resistant qualities, but as you can see, little effect in that. And we'll let that go out before we have any studio problems here. But that will give you a good indication of exactly the effect in the field if that was your home or office structure. What we're also showing here is we have a little small piece of our material extending that's been using a compound joined to another typical industry standard hardboard. Now, thank you. As you can see, we're going to burn this material, and my hand is getting very, very hot from the casting off of the heat, but I will move closer and show you the glowing red material. Now, what's important to note here is that it's not burning, it's not flaming, it's not igniting. There are no residues or off-gassing or toxins being emitted from the burn. But if you will notice, if I'm only maybe 3/4 of an inch from the other material, which is a common hardboard on the market, and it will not transfer the heat to that hardboard. But if I actually transfer the heat, you'll see that material igniting. And you can see the smoke coming off of that, which, by the way, is producing harmful, hazardous materials and emissions such as cyanide. Not something you really want in your house if you have a small fire or a big fire. Okay, we're talking 1/2 inch of material. Lynn's hand is on the bottom, and I will heat this up with a standard plumber's propane torch. And as you will see, I'll turn it up a little bit more. His hand is still on the bottom, mind you. This is only 1/2 inch of material. And you can see that it's glowing red with heat out, but his hand is on the back side of the material, still not transferring the energy. We could stand here for a very long time. So if this is only 1/2 inch of material and it will not penetrate to his hand, 8 inches of a wall section is absolutely impervious to fire. In fact, it's so impervious that our tests show 2,900 degrees for over 12 hours and no product degradation at all. It's very hot on the front side, absolutely cool on the back side. I can even put it to my face if you don't believe me. Okay. As we showed some variations of hardboard commonly on the market. Oh, came up that time. Our variation of the product, the only thing that will even attempt to melt is a fiber mesh that is incorporated in the product. But as far as the product itself, it will not burn, it will not ignite, and it will not create harmful emissions. So as you can see, from not only a construction standpoint, but from a builder's strategy standpoint, and an ability to increase bottom line profit margins, we have an application here that meets every potential need in the market, whether it be the green and marketability components, the workability, the scalability, and the simple ease of use in the marketplace. Using the application, whether it be structural or architectural, you're able to reduce manpower, reduce your overall costs, reduce your management, which ultimately combined creates your bottom line as being more attractive. Also, what might be important to note is though these aren't necessarily as pretty to look at, these components are particularly appealing for other uses, such as green roofing material. The reason being that these are so extremely light that they do not add roof weight or to the structure, weight to the structure, and still promote growth opportunities for green roof application and inherently provide your insulation value to an extreme value. We can easily provide as high as an R30 value with no more than 4 inches of material. At the same time, when coupled with a structural panel and combined with the liquid material, which is again the same material, which becomes one solid structure, this provides your structural component while this provides your promotion of growth and materials or your plant life on top of the substrate, and also provides all of your energy saving R factor into the roof material. These are just some of the possible applications. One last test that we'd like to show you is a lot of times people will ask us that if it's a cellular type product and it feels so light and it appears to have a structure that will be saturated in water, how is it on water penetration, which is particularly important for homes and things of that nature. This should answer that question, as it will completely float in water. It's a closed cell application, and it will not allow the water to completely penetrate the product. Whether it be this size or that size or a panel that could be 20 feet long, 15 inches thick, it will still float, and it will float indefinitely. The MROC system is arguably the greenest, most effective, most diversified product on the market. Thank you.